Welcome once again, my dear friends and students. In my second video, I explain these two concepts, that is angular displacement and angular velocity. Now the one leftmost concept that is taken in this video, that is the angular acceleration. Now here, what is angular acceleration? Simply, it is the time, rate of change of angular velocity, that is simply called as the angular acceleration. Now if we consider delta omega is the change in angular velocity in time delta t, then the instantaneous acceleration, that is the angular acceleration, is given by alpha equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta omega by delta t. The same thing can be written as alpha equal to d omega by dt. Now if we just consider the magnitude of angular acceleration, which can be considered as the angular speed. So in problem we use this formula. If the angular speed changes from omega 1 to omega 2, then the angular acceleration is given by alpha equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 upon t. Now if we consider some points about the same angular acceleration, so we can consider here the nature of that quantity similar to that of angular displacement, angular velocity. Angular acceleration is also vector quantity. It is measured in unit, that is radian per second square. That's why dimensions of this physical quantity as 0 in length, 0 in mass and -2 in time. Now if we consider the direction of angular acceleration. Now the direction of angular acceleration depends upon the change of angular velocity. Change means whether it increases or it decreases. Now if we consider the angular velocity increases, to explain this we consider the familiar example where we switch on the fan, then the blades of fan moves with the increase in angular velocity. That's why here angular velocity increases. In that case the direction of angular acceleration is same as that of the direction of angular velocity. It is the case when we switch off the fan. Now the blades of fan rotate with the decrease in angular velocity. That's why I draw here the direction of angular acceleration is opposite to that of the direction of angular velocity. In both the diagram, we consider the anti-clockwise circular motion. It means you have to keep in mind here the direction of alpha, that is the angular acceleration, depend upon whether the angular velocity increases or whether the angular velocity decreases. Now here we consider the three relations mainly in this video, which is just mentioned in our new textbook. Now for the complete understanding, I will just prove that relations. That is, the first relation is the relation between linear displacement and angular displacement. For that, again you have to consider one particle which is performing circular motion in anti-clockwise direction. So that's why I write here, consider a particle which is performing circular motion in anti-clockwise direction. Now we consider initial position, we consider position after some time. So I write here A be the initial position, B be the new position, means position of that same particle after some time. Delta S now considered as a linear displacement. If the time taken by that particle to move from A to B, if that is considered as a small, then this AB distance can be considered as a linear displacement. And whatever the angle described by radius vector at the center of circle, this is nothing but the angular displacement. and if we join the center and point on circumference, we get the radius. So that's why right here r is the radius. So as per definition of angular displacement, we can write as angular displacement equal to length of arc or arc length upon radius. So from the figure, I write here angular displacement as delta theta, arc length as a delta s, and radius as a r. So that's why I write here delta s equal to r into delta theta. Simply, this is the relation between the linear displacement and angular displacement. Delta s represent the linear displacement. Delta theta represent the angular displacement. In vector notation, we can write as delta s equal to delta theta cross r. It means this is the cross product of these two physical quantity, that is angular displacement and the radius vector. Now the second relation we have to consider here as a relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Now here again we have to consider the same thing. We have to consider one particle which is performing the circular motion in anti-clockwise direction. Again I write the two same position, A be its initial position, B be the position after certain time. Now if we join OA and OB, then we get here angle made by that radius vector, which is called as angular displacement. The arc length AB, which is called as linear displacement, and R is the radius of that circular path. So that's why I write here, let particle moves from A to B in time delta t. Now if we consider delta s as a linear displacement, delta theta as an angular displacement, then by the definition we write here angular displacement equal to arc length upon radius. So from this definition we write here delta s equal to r into delta theta. We are just dealing with the magnitude, so that's why I doesn't write here any notation. Now here, as per definition of linear velocity, it is the rate of change of linear displacement with respect to time. So that's why I write here the linear velocity equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta s by delta t. It means linear velocity is the time rate of change of linear displacement. Now if we put the value of delta s, which is equal to r into delta theta. So I put the value r into delta theta, as here a radius of particular circle always remain constant. That's why I take out that r constant. So what is left over? R into limit delta t tends to 0 delta theta by delta t. But as per definition, limit delta t tends to 0 delta theta by delta t is nothing but the angular velocity. So that's why I write the value of limit delta t tends to 0 delta theta by delta t as a omega. So we get the relation V equal to R omega in magnitude, where V is a linear velocity, omega is a angular velocity, and R is called as a radius of that circular arc. So in vector notation, we can express that relation as V equal to omega cross R. So this is the second important relation, which is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Now we have to consider the third relation, that is the relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. Here linear acceleration is represented by A, angular acceleration represented by alpha. So simply we have to define the linear acceleration, which is the rate of change of linear velocity with respect to time, or you can say that time rate of change of linear velocity is called as linear acceleration. That's why I write here linear acceleration equal to what? Differentiation of dv by dt. Now here, if we put the value of linear velocity Now if we consider the value of linear velocity in vector notation, so we can write as v equal to omega cross r. Now if I put this value, that is the value of linear velocity in this equation, that is dv by dt. Then I write here linear acceleration equal to d dt of, means differentiation of, that is omega cross r. Now if I differentiate here d omega by dt plus r. Now if I differentiate by considering the first term as d omega by dt cross r plus omega cross dr by dt. As here radius vector remain constant, its magnitude remain constant, that's why dr by dt can be taken as 0. So that's why I simply write here a equal to d omega by dt cross r. Now I put the value of d omega by dt. It means the rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time is called as angular acceleration. So instead of d omega by dt, I write here alpha. So we get the relation as a equal to r cross alpha, where a is a linear acceleration, alpha is a angular acceleration, and r is obviously the radius vector. We can also write in this way. If we consider or deal with only magnitude, that is a equal to d dt of r omega. Here I put the value of v in magnitude. So again I take out this r common, that is the constant. So I write here a equal to r into d omega by dt. So that is a equal to r alpha. So here today we find the three relations as, that is delta s equal to r into delta theta, v equal to r omega, and a equal to r alpha. So these are the relations which are considered the relation between linear displacement and angular displacement, linear velocity and angular velocity, and linear acceleration and angular acceleration.